Welcome to today's webinar, How to Create Quality Learning Centers. My name is Shanae, and I help support pre-K teachers who use Twinkl. Today's webinar will give you an understanding on how to first set up learning centers for fun, independent learn through play. Let's get started. By the end of this webinar, you will be able to create an art center that allows students to express themselves creatively, set up a block center and facilitate block play, enhance dramatic play concepts, construct a math center that addresses different developmental levels, and equip a science center with materials that encourage exploration. Let's begin by discussing the art center. Children love to express their ideas through art. In the early childhood years, it's important for art to be about the process of creating artwork and not the finished product. Process artwork is unique, there is no right or wrong way, and is focused on exploring tools, techniques, and materials. It benefits the students by allowing them to practice fine motor skills and create artwork they are proud of. When setting up your art center, you want students to enjoy process art independently. There should be tables and chairs set up in or next to the art center that is only for art materials during center time. There should be a designated space for paint, glue, or any other artwork to dry. A full-sized art easel for students to paint on large sheets of paper. A shelf and bins to store various art materials. Let's see exactly what art materials you need. All art materials should be easily accessible to children, labeled and organized. You should have crayons, markers, paper, scissors, Play-Doh or soft clay, collage materials such as pipe cleaners, pom-poms, yarn, stickers, and materials for 3D art, such as small boxes, paper plates, straws, or cardboard tubes. For your art easel, you should have at least 3 or more colors of fresh paint in cups and ready for children to use each day. Child-sized paintbrushes, at least 1 for each color of paint. Large paper, typically 16 by 22 inches or 18 by 24 inches. And you need enough smocks for a small group of children. You can use commercial smocks, an apron, or an oversized t-shirt. The art center should also contain materials that promote literacy development. Some examples may be books, journals, pens, pencils, lined paper, magazines, and alphabet stickers. While students are exploring the art center, you want them to think about what they're doing. Some questions you can ask students include: tell me about what you built, made, or created. What materials did you use? Why did you use those colors? What is your favorite part about your picture? Let's explore the block center. The block center should be designed to allow students to be active builders and think through their thoughts and ideas about construction. While playing with blocks, students explore concepts such as shapes, patterns, size, length, weight, and spatial relationships. The block area should be one of the largest areas in the room with enough space for 5 or more children to build, and it should be in a space free of high traffic. In the block area, you need a shelf that's easily accessible, sorted, labeled, and organized. You need bins for all of the block props and accessories. You also need a large area rug to be the designated space for students to build and explore the block area. There are different types of blocks you need in the block area, totaling to meet a minimum of around 200 blocks in total. You need standard unit blocks, large hollow blocks, foam blocks, plastic blocks, and cardboard blocks. Some block accessories that you can add to your block sensor and store in bins are vehicles, farm animals, zoo animals, ocean animals, traffic signs, and people. You should also add real and found items such as egg cartons, paper or plastic cups, cardboard tubes, and PVC pipes and fittings. To promote literacy in the block area, it's helpful to have maps, books, paper, and teachers should supervise children closely while they're in the block center and model how to build blocks appropriately. Encourage students to incorporate props into their structures and talk about what they're doing by asking open-ended questions. Prevent rushing. Having one adult station during cleanup is helpful to monitor students and ensure they are putting blocks away in their proper place. Assigning students specific roles, such as telling one student to put all the plastic blocks away or another student to clean up all the people and animals, helps cleanup be more efficient. And having students who are finished cleaning up their center come and help the block area can also help speed up cleaning time. Let's talk about the dramatic play center. Like the block area, the dramatic play area should be a large space enough for 5 or more children. The most imaginative learning through play happens in this center, and students love acting out scenes and taking on different roles. To help support students learn through play, the dramatic play center should be filled with a variety of items. Housekeeping furniture such as a stove, sink, refrigerator, washing machine, or grill. Dress-up clothing storage. A small table and chairs that can fit inside the area. And shelves and bins to hold all of the play material. Some dramatic play materials you should have are dolls, at least 5, enough for a small group, and dolls that are culturally diverse. Dress-up props, these can be things such as a purse, hat, shoes, old cell phones, and more. A full-length mirror so students can see themselves in their new roles. A variety of dress-up clothes that cover different occupations, fantasy and storybook characters, attire of different cultures, community workers, fancy dress-up clothes, and different work attire. Props for the kitchen, such as eating utensils, dishes, pots, pans, pretend food, cooking utensils, dish towels, and rolling pins. Props for cleaning, things like sponges, mops, brooms, and dustpans. Also, props for babies. That would be things such as a baby bed, a high chair, blankets, bottles, diaper bag, baby clothes. Students love taking care of others and acting out caregiver roles. Some additional dramatic play materials include empty containers, a cash register, a clock, a telephone, a computer keyboard, and pet dishes. To encourage reading and writing, provide students with menus, notepads, coupons, pens, pencils, and environmental print. To enhance the dramatic play experience, it's important to have fun, relevant themes based on what you're learning, the season, and/or student interests to keep it new and exciting. You should change themes at least every 4 weeks and rotate materials so students discover new ways to engage in play. To incorporate a theme into your dramatic play center, you add things that would simulate what it's like to be at that particular place. For example, if you would like to do a doctor office theme, you would add things such as a lab coat, surgical mask, plastic syringes, a stethoscope, bandages, a pretend prescription pad, writing utensils, cotton balls, an appointment book, and magazines for the waiting area. Anything that students can play with to simulate what it's like to be there are things that you would like to add to give children a truly unique experience. Math Center. The Math Center is a space for students to count, compare, sort, make shapes, and build their understanding of numbers. The Math Center should have a shelf and bins to hold materials and a rug or table and chairs to serve as the designated play area. The math area should be stocked with manipulatives for counting, sorting, recognizing shapes, and hand-eye coordination. Counting manipulatives are things such as pennies, bears, erasers, beans, and plastic bugs. For sorting, you should include sets of items that have specific attributes, such as size, color, and shape. Recognizing shape manipulatives include shape puzzles and 3D shapes. Hand-eye coordination manipulatives include things such as lacing cards, pegs and pegboards, and geoboards and rubber bands. The Math Center should also contain materials for measuring weight, length, and time. To measure weight, include a balance or scale. To measure length, add rulers or a tape measure. And to measure time, add sand timers or a working clock. Great examples of real and found items you can add are dominoes, popsicle sticks, coins, erasers, and straws. The Math Center should be able to address the different developmental levels of each student. For example, in terms of sorting, you should have enough materials that a beginner can do sorting activities, as well as a student who is more advanced. A beginner should sort things by identifying one clear difference, such as sorting only by color. A more challenging sorting activity could be a bin that contains a variety of bugs. The bugs have different shapes, colors, and attributes, where students have to look closely to find a way to sort them. They may sort by number of legs, if they have wings or not, or any other feature they choose. In addition to prompting different activities with the math materials, you can help address the different developmental levels of students by using puzzles. Have at least 3 different types of puzzles such as knobbed, wooden, floor, or jigsaw. Having different math games can be very helpful, such as bingo, matching, counting, and memory. To support literacy in the Math Center, students can string alphabet beads, have math books, alphabet puzzles, small alphabet blocks, and writing materials. Science Center. The Science Center is an area for students to question the world around them and explore and learn new materials. Children examine things, compare and contrast, and draw conclusions about observations, all while playing. In the Science Center, you should have a sensory table. Depending on space, it is sometimes in a separate area. You need a shelf and bins for the science materials, and a designated table to play. Add materials such as magnets, items to attract and repel, binoculars, magnifying glasses, prisms, and color paddles. Discovery items are also needed in the Science Center. Those would be things such as activities where students can match sounds, use gears, discovery tubes, sensory bottles, simple science experiments, and pictures of nature or real nature items, such as rocks, feathers, or acorns. There should be something living for students to take care of in the Science Center. This gives students hands-on experience with caring for something besides themselves. Students can water plants, feed a class pet, and/or simply observe a living thing. The best living thing to have in the classroom are plants, Students can water them and watch them grow. Or small, low-maintenance animals such as a fish, guinea pig, rabbit, or bearded dragon. To promote literacy in the Science Center, add science word cards, posters, science books, and writing materials. Whether you have your sensory table or bin a part of the Science Center or separate, it's designed to be an area for students to stimulate their 5 senses. Materials should be changed on a regular basis to give students opportunities to explore new things. Sensory table fillers are anything you can fill your sensory table with, such as sand, water, confetti, gravel, pom-poms, and shredded paper. Sensory table props are things that can help students pour, dig, scoop, and measure while playing in the sensory table. During center time, students learn many new skills and develop their current skills. All centers should have a clear, defined space, rules or expectations for how to play, and all materials should be labeled, organized, and accessible for children to play independently. Be sure to visit Twinkl.com to see all the resources we offer to help support student learning during center time and every part of the school day.